Welcome back to the Foundry by Forge College. Today's explainer is all about documenting deployment and operational practices. We just wrapped up drafting, auditing reports, and now we're diving into the final, absolutely crucial step of our capstone project, packaging up our composable contract system. Let's be real for a second, right? Documentation is basically the vegetable of the engineering world. Nobody really jumps out of bed excited to write it, but eating those vegetables is literally the difference between a messy weekend hackathon project and a highly professional enterprise-grade Web3 system. Here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the master inventor's handoff, then move into drafting the documentation pack, building out the operational checklist, running the dry run, grabbing peer review validation, and finally reaching final assembly readiness. All right, kicking things off with part 1. The master inventor's handoff, from code to comprehension. Think of this whole process like filing a patent. You've built a beautifully audited system, but just handing a peer your raw code repository is literally like dumping a heavy box of loose, greasy gears on their desk and saying, hey, good luck with that. We have to evolve away from that undocumented chaos. We want a crisp, professional handoff where things like your upgradeability strategy are perfectly captured. You're transforming from a lone coder into a master engineer, leaving a solid legacy. Which brings us to our main objective, a reproducible baseline. Think of this like a perfect save state in a video game or a perfectly measured baking recipe. It's an exact snapshot of the environment, the code commit, and the configurations where your system actually worked. The entire goal here is that any other engineer can sit down at a brand new laptop, clone your repo, and build your exact same machine flawlessly on the very first try. Moving right along to part 2, drafting the documentation pack, the engineering blueprints. This right here is your engineering ledger. You need to take all the blood, sweat, and triumphs from your previous lessons and package them into a neat docs/pack directory. We're talking 3 essentials: an architecture document for your diagrams, an integration decisions file to explain exactly why you built it that way, and a debug appendix logging the bugs you squashed. If someone asks why a function looks a certain way, this pack has the definitive answer. Now, you might be looking at this JSON snippet and wondering, why on earth do I need metadata for documentation? Well, because it acts as an unforgeable wax seal on your handoff. By locking in the exact commit hash, the unique digital fingerprint of your code, you completely eliminate ambiguity. Your reviewer isn't just pulling the latest version and hoping for the best, they are testing the exact system state that you guaranteed works. So keep these blueprint rules in mind. Every non-trivial decision needs explicit justification. Did you sacrifice gas savings for maximum security? Write it down. Link those choices directly to your constraints. Map your bugs to known workarounds, and please include a handoff README. An expert always backs up their trade-offs with concrete evidence. Plus, the dev you're helping out might literally be future you 6 months from now. Okay, on to part 3, the operational checklist, the operator's manual. With our blueprints meticulously filed, it's time to write the actual instructions to boot up the machine. The critical point here? This is absolutely not just a basic text file with bullet points. It needs to be a deterministic, executable bash script. Think of it like an automated line of dominoes that seamlessly starts the local network, runs deployments, executes the tests, grabs the results, and then safely cleans up. Your op checklist script is your automated copilot. It's got to have explicit CLI commands. It absolutely needs to capture the node's process ID so you don't leave ghost networks running on your buddy's laptop. They will definitely not thank you for that. And it has to exit with a non-zero code if tests fail. It's basically a pre-flight launch simulator that automatically aborts the sequence and cleans up if anything flashes red. Which brings us to part 4, running the dry run, testing the machine. You wouldn't ship a manual without testing it yourself, right? So, on a completely clean, fresh clone of your repo, so no hidden local variables are cheating for you, you're going to run your checklist script. Does the local node fire up and print the JSON RPC URL? Are your contract addresses spitting out properly? Do the integration tests hit that beautiful exit code 0? If the answer is yes, your machine works perfectly. But you can't just smile at your screen. You've got to prove it happened. You need to capture that victorious terminal output and save it straight into your doc pack. Honestly, treat it like a gym selfie. Pics or it didn't happen. This is concrete, undeniable proof that your baseline is rock solid before you pass the baton. And now for the trial by fire. Part 5. Peer review validation, the ultimate test.
I want you to read this and ask yourself honestly right now. Can they do it? Because if your reviewer gets stuck on step 2 and has to DM you asking for a missing command or some stray environmental variable, your checklist failed. The goal here is zero friction, zero questions. Now, your reviewer has a very specific job too. They'll independently use your handoff README to check out that exact commit hash we talked about earlier. They'll trigger the dry run script and make sure the output perfectly matches the proof you saved. And finally, they need to read your docs and be able to explain the rationale behind at least 2 of your integration trade-offs. If they can do all that, they'll give it the formal sign-off. Finally, we hit part 6, final assembly readiness, closing the loop. Once you get that peer reviewer's signature, you have officially crossed the finish line for this module. Just be sure to cement these 3 core principles into your daily workflow. 1, always capture decisions with evidence. 2, make those checklists strictly executable and deterministic, no guessing allowed. And 3, provide clear traceability straight from a bug report to the final fix. These pillars bridge the gap between messy development and pristine delivery. Here's the ultimate test for your blueprints. If your code outlives you, is your documentation enough to keep the machine running for the next generation? That wraps up today's explainer. Make sure you head over to forge.college to dive into more Web3 topics and advanced smart contract techniques. Until next time, write your docs like the future of the blockchain depends on it and keep building.